Lincoln Way, a neighborhood that consisted of around 40 homes sat in Clairton, Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh. A neighborhood that was one day here and the next day gone has left thousands of internet theorists wondering just what happened. While there is no definitive explanation as to why, there are many theories as to what happened to Lincoln Way, ranging from a haunting beast terrorizing the neighborhood and driving residents out of their homes, to environmental issues from a nearby steel mill. Throughout this video, we will dive into the legitimacy of the theories and try to solve the mystery of what happened to Lincoln Way. Lincoln Way, a strongly knit black community, was born out of self-sufficiency due to the effects of segregation. The community relied heavily on each other during this period. They had their own church, barbershop, and other businesses in the neighborhood. While it is difficult to get clear explanations from people local to the surrounding area, it is known that residents started to abandon their homes in the 1970s. Many of the homes were left in peculiar conditions. Some even left their car in the driveway as they fled. Many homes were filled with furniture and clothes, with the owners disappearing without a trace. One of the most mysterious aspects regarding the situation with Lincoln Way is the difficulty in finding evidence of what actually took place there. News reports are scarce, and getting information out of people close to the area has proved to be challenging. Theory 1. The Beast of Lincoln Way. There was a legend of a creature that would torment the residents of Lincoln Way. The story goes that pets would randomly go missing in the neighborhood and they would be found dismembered. Gardens would be torn up from the ground, with signs of a malicious creature roaming around the town. People reported hearing eerie noises such as rattling, thumping, and scratching in their homes. While this theory has never been officially proven, we are left to wonder if this was a coincidence or if something more sinister was at play. Theory 2. Sociological Issues. During the period of segregation, there were a lot of sociological issues that African Americans faced, and Lincoln Way was no stranger to this. There was a report of an incident where two cops severely mistreated an older man living in the neighborhood who was suffering from dementia. Two men were arrested in possession of a 35-pound bomb. They had been suspected previously of trying to carry out an explosion on an apartment home near Lincoln Way. While there was no explosion during this incident, there is no telling what might have taken place the night of their arrest, but it leads one to wonder how it aided in the already difficult living of Lincoln Way. These unfortunate situations, plus countless others over the years, could have aided to the trauma of the area and could have made residents want to get out of Lincoln Way as soon as possible. In 2015, a few years after the final resident moved out of the neighborhood, there was a fire that was believed to be arson that consumed many of the homes that remained. Theory 3. The Steel Mill. Throughout the years, there was primarily one place for the men to work, the steel mill. Located across the street from Lincoln Way was a steel mill, formerly named Carnegie Illinois Steel, created by Andrew Carnegie. It is now known as Clairton Works. There were reports and instances of high levels of pollution and toxicity resulting from the steel mill. The company has been fined many times over the years for environmental violations. Residents note smelling a very pungent, toxic smell in the air due to coke piles from the steel plant. Residents said they were often sick, as men who worked at the plant were exposed to dangerous and toxic conditions. The fumes from the steel mill would later be expected to cause other environmental concerns, such as sinkholes. Before the last resident moved out of Lincoln Way, gas leaks were reported in the area. This theory is considered to be the most widely accepted, and combined with the previously mentioned sociological issues, it's not hard to understand why residents left immediately. The men who worked at the steel mill often died while being exposed to the harsh conditions, leaving behind kids and widows. At one time, a majority of the residents who lived in Lincoln Way were wives and children who lost their husbands and fathers. It's believed that as this began to happen, the children moved away to find better opportunities, and the widows either passed away or moved to nursing facilities, leaving the homes abandoned and uncared for. As more houses became abandoned, the property value was drastically driven down. This, combined with the already present environmental issues, made it difficult to attract new people to the area. As Lincoln Way remained abandoned, and following multiple accounts of arson, in 2017 the city deemed the street a hazard and demolished the rest of the remaining homes. A trespassing sign was placed just outside the street, and trespassers were warned that they would be prosecuted by the city of Clairton if they were to step foot on the land. This didn't stop hundreds of urban explorers who would visit the land and fly drones over top, hoping to catch a glimpse of the thriving neighborhood that used to be known as Lincoln Way. If you or someone you know has any more information on this neighborhood, comment your stories and thoughts below. I will continue updating viewers on my social media accounts. If you have another location you would like me to explore, put it in the comments or DM me on a platform of your choice.